My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
We only have so much.
Hello, my name is Mickey Nip. I am the father of most of the employees of WackMatters.com, or adopted father of one, and a friend of Trevor.
My name is...
Time is money.
Marianne Nip. I am the mother to the creators and producers of WackMatters.
We have had 4 total producers: myself, Michael, Danny, and Drewby. Are you claiming them as your children as well?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Who are the 2 big comic book publishers?
Oh my word. Are the people aware that I don't know what I'm going to be asked? Marvel and the other one.
I need you to answer it.
I think it starts with a D.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you a hint. It's just letters.
Yeah.
Who are the 2 big comic book publishers?
Marvel and DC.
But they're not coming to me. Duo. I know that's not right. Marvel and...
D. It's another letter.
Why don't I know? Why can't I remember this?
DC.
Yes. Marvel and DC.
Do you know who the first superhero was?
Superman.
I want to say Spider-Man, but I don't know if that's right. It could be Batman.
Okay, so I'm going to
Or
throw...
Superman. Probably he was Superman. He's older.
I need a final answer.
One of those 3.
If I throw out a bunch of names of superheroes, do you think you could tell me whether they belong to Marvel or DC?
Probably not, but I will try.
Spider-Man.
I think he's DC. But he's in a Marvel movie, so... But I still think DC.
Superman.
DC.
Batman.
DC.
Iron Man.
Marvel.
Hulk.
Definitely Marvel.
Flash.
Marvel.
Hawkman.
That's probably a spin-off of the Hulk, but he's probably DC, but I've never heard of him.
Green Lantern.
I think he is Marvel.
Hawkeye.
Marvel.
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, ain't that the Spider-Man's girlfriend? DC.
Lois Lane.
That's Superman's girlfriend, DC.
You?
How's my hair look?
Fine.
Okay, just checking. Did Daddy get these right?
I'm not at liberty to discuss how Father did.
He said he did.
Spider-Man.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What's Captain America?
I'm not... Mom!
If you can tell me that, I can help you out here a little bit better.
No!
He's on Captain... Who'd you ask about?
Spider-Man.
He's with Captain America.
Okay, does he belong to Marvel or DC?
The one he does.
I need you to give me a Marvel or DC answer.
Marvel.
Superman.
DC.
Batman.
DC.
Iron Man.
Marvel.
Hulk.
Marvel.
Flash.
I don't know. I think he's DC. Maybe Marvel. I don't know.
Hawkman.
It's like somebody's answer to Batman. I don't know. I would say Marvel then. I don't know. Although it sounds like a DC to me.
I need a final answer.
DC. I don't know.
Green Lantern.
I don't know.
You have to answer.
I think that was the IDK group. It's the third most popular.
That's not true. And you have to answer.
I don't know. Did you get it? IDK group. Green Lantern?
Mm-hmm.
We'll say DC.
Hawkeye.
Is he Hawkman's brother? DC.
Mary Jane.
Well, she's Well, she's not a superhero.
That's a comic book character.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would say Marvel then.
Lois Lane.
DC.
So not counting an editor, just from a pure creator standpoint, how many different hands do you think get a ball on creating one issue of a comic book?
Probably a couple hundred.
All right, so there has been
Did I
some...
get any of this right?
I'm not telling you.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been some pretty big comic book stories and ongoing things that have not been belonging to the two big publishers known as Marvel or DC.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea behind some of these stories is that they're an indie publisher, which is just the idea that there's not really editors. If the company I'm talking about specifically is known as Image Comics,
Yeah.
if Image greenlights your book, they're not going to edit it at all. Your story, your creative control is 100%.
Who put them in charge?
Is 100%. If they greenlight your story, then you get to tell your story exactly.
Who put them in charge of it?
They're a business.
Well, who made them the head of everything?
They're not changing your story. It's like Marvel and DC. There's editors that you can't say this because.
Oh
this
wait,
isn't
these
fit.
are indie. Okay, I get it.
This
I get
is
you.
an indie thing. Why do you think this has become so popular?
The indie stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, it has such a big
people want to
appeal.
have their own creative right, I guess. And the other ones are all just about the money, not the story necessarily. Probably, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Can you name a comic book writer?
Stanley.
Can you name a living comic book writer?
No. Stanley's the only one I could name.
Some of the biggest movies of the last few years have been based around comic books. Why do you think this is?
Millennials like to live in a pretend world where everybody saves the world every day.
I'm going to throw out a few more names. I want you to tell me Marvel or DC. Robin.
He's Batman's buddy, so DC.
Static Shock.
I've never heard of him, DC.
Howard the Duck.
Disney.
Mr. Fantastic.
I think he's DC because he's with the Fantastic Four.
Gamora.
I'll say DC.
Martian Manhunter.
DC.
Robin.
Well, he would be whoever Batman was with, so I was gonna guess DC.
Static Shock.
Marvel.
Howard the Duck.
Did you see that movie?
No.
It had Leah Thompson in it. It was in the 80s. It was dumb.
Get dunked on.
I'm going to say it's DC. I think if I've got these categorized in my brain right, I like Marvel better. I'm just saying.
Mr. Fantastic.
Except I do like Batman, but I think he's DC.
Mr. Fantastic.
He's probably DC because I don't like him.
Gamora.
Never heard of. Marvel. No, I'm going to say DC.
Martian Manhunter.
I'm going to say DC because I don't know him.
What age range do you think comic books are made for?
16 to 32.
Do you think comics are an important form of art or media, and if you do, why?
I think they are an important form of art and media. Well, not necessarily either one of those two, but entertainment because it gets people to read. That's what is important.
All right, so I'm going to give you some names of some big comic book events or storylines, and I want you to take those names and try to tell me what you think that story's about.
Okay.
The first one's going to be Batman, the Killing Joke.
I think this is where the Joker is killing people and Batman comes in to take him out.
What age range do you think comic books are made for?
All.
Do you think comic books are an important form of art or media, and if so, why?
I think they can be. Because I think they can be relatable to all. I mean, it's not just for children, I don't think.
I'm going to give you some names of big comic book stories or events.
I think they're marketed mostly to children and teenagers.
The first is Batman, the Killing Joke.
Oh, people would say Adam West died. Didn't he really die, though, now?
Civil War.
That is where first they invited the Hulk to go somewhere else, so whichever side he went to didn't win. And then Iron Man and Captain got mad at each other because Iron Man's a jerk and Captain is a little bit overzealous and control freak. So they got all their friends and fought each other.
you needed to announce a trigger warning before you hated on Iron Man's side for that one.
Sorry.
People like my sister might quit watching because of that.
Trigger warning. Iron Man can be a jerk.
I'll fix it in post. So you'll say trigger warning first. Civil War.
Well, that's about Iron Man and Captain America, and I am Team Captain America.
You need to announce trigger warning before you say that.
Pew, pew.
Final Crisis.
I'm not for Iron Man. I'm not.
Final Crisis. Don't tell Danny. She'll get mad at you. Final Crisis.
Are you an Iron Man supporter in this area?
You like Iron Man.
Well, I mean, I like him, but I think he was wrong in this situation.
Mom, what do you think Final Crisis is about?
I have no idea. The end of the world.
Flashpoint.
The Canadian show. I love that show.
No, the comic book story.
Well, I know, but I like the real show real well, obviously, because I know about it.
Okay, but what do you think the comic story would be about?
I watched that whole thing. I binge watched it.
Yeah, what do you think? But if there's a comic book about...
Probably about Flash, because the point is he's not that popular.
Oh, you're aware that the Flash has his own CW TV show?
What'd you say?
Are you aware that the Flash has his own CW TV show?
Obvi not.
The next...
Who cares about it? Well, hello, CW. There it goes. Nobody cares.
Final Crisis.
It's probably that last one where everybody died, but I don't know.
Flashpoint.
Oh, wait a minute. Everybody... edit for the first one. Not everybody died because the rat. He didn't die. Rocky the Raccoon.
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
Flashpoint.
That sounds like where something caught on fire. So that's something to do with Dante's Inferno.
The next is...
I listened to that on the podcast.
Watchmen.
That's about people in DC who are watching all the men in the Marvel situation make way more money than they do.
You, at the start of your sentence, was surprisingly closer than you thought it could have been. I was about to be incredibly impressed if you were going to tell me what Watchmen was about. Mom freaking just pushes up her glasses. Well, actually, Watchmen is just a deconstruction of the modern day superhero. Let me explain to you why Alan Moore's a genius. The last one is Planet Hulk.
That is obviously when the Hulk, who is the best superhero ever, takes over the entire Earth planet and everybody becomes his servants.
Hey, Dad, have you read Planet Hulk or heard anybody talk about that one?
No.
You're closer than you probably thought you would be.
Obviously the Hulk is the man.
We got the last round of me throwing out some names, and these are ideally these have all gotten a little bit more obscure each round. Jubilee.
Marvel.
Gambit.
DC.
Warhawk.
Marvel.
Kite Man.
Marvel.
Mad Jim Jasper.
DC. I haven't heard of any of these people.
Speedy.
DC.
All right, we got one last question for you.
Are we doing a contest with me and your mom?
Yeah, we're going to see who gets more of those right.
Okay.
Jubilee.
That's a year. No, I won't go there. Marvel.
Gambit.
DC.
Warhawk.
DC.
Kite Man.
DC.
Mad Jim Jasper.
The ones whose names I don't like, I'm saying DC. Marvel. I like Jim Jasper. You're probably wrong.
Speedy.
Gonzalez.
No, just Speedy. Oh,
Looney
Looney
Tunes.
Good one, Mom. Killing it.
Andale.
Okay, sure, I'll take that answer. I took Dad's answer of Disney for one of these characters. All right, we got one last question.
Frankly, aren't one of them owned by Disney now?
We have one last question for you.
Is that true?
Yes, Marvel is owned by Disney as of now.
Sell out.
One last question for you. From the TV, or not the TV, from the podcast show on WackMatters, the specific show, Life's What You Rate It, what host is your favorite?
My son.
All right. Thank you for your time. I got one last question for you.
Yes.
So the website WackMatters has a production that they put on called Life's What You Rate It.
Yes, it's my favorite. I don't want to say it's my favorite, but it is one of my top 4 favorites of the WackMatters productions.
Life's What You Rate It. You don't listen to at least 2 of the shows.
Hence, it's my favorite.
Out of the 2 hosts of Life's What You Rate It, who would be your favorite?
The cute one.
Thank you for your time.